What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be previewing the El Clásico that will take place this Saturday at the iconic Santiago Bernabeu. I am so hyped for this El Clásico. It's actually insane. And I feel like football fans as a whole, non-Barca and Real Madrid fans, are just as hyped for this matchup as Barca and Madrid fans. I don't remember the last time there was this much hype and anticipation before an El Clásico. It feels like we're back in the good old days when Messi and Ronaldo were both part of obviously Barca and Madrid. I mean, it's actually insane. Obviously, we Barca and Madrid fans, we're always hyped for the El Clásico, but like I said, every football fan I feel like is hyped for this game tomorrow because it's just going to be, it has that feeling that it's going to be a great game, and both of these teams are coming into the game on decent form. One team to me has been on better form than the other one, but we'll get to that a little bit later in the video. But yeah, man, this game, like I said, is going to be amazing. This is to me, and you could say I'm biased because obviously I support one of the teams that's part of the matchup, but this is to me the greatest rivalry and the greatest game in sports. Nothing compares to the El Clásico. You're talking about the two biggest teams in the history of football. And if they're the two biggest teams in the history of football, that means they're the two biggest teams in the history of sports going head to head. I mean, there's not a rivalry like El Clásico. The fights, the drama, everything, man. This game really has it all. And again, it's going to be must-see TV on Saturday. And today, we're going to be previewing the match, giving you guys my score prediction, my strength and weaknesses for both teams, injuries coming into the game, form coming into the game, all that good stuff. And yeah, man, it should be really, really fun. If you guys want to add anything else, then you can add it in the comment section down below. You have my permission. So again, you have my permission to do that. But anyway, let's get into this because I want to talk about, first of all, I want to talk about form for both of these teams coming into this game. Both of these teams, on paper, have been on great form this season, but one team, like I said earlier, has just been the better team, and that, of course, is Barcelona. And you could say I'm being biased. I don't believe I am. I think even the biggest Real Madrid fan will tell you Barca has been the better team this season. Again, on form, Madrid has only lost one game. That was obviously in the UCL to Lille, and Barca has lost two games against Osasuna and against Monaco. But Barca's performances have been so much more dominant than Madrid. Madrid this season, to me, haven't been great. And again, that's crazy because you've only lost one game. But if you've watched the team, they have not been that good. Again, they get wins because they're Madrid and they have so much talent. But the performances on the pitch, they have not been convincing in my opinion. And Barca's been the opposite. Barca are scoring 5 goals for fun basically every game. I think they've scored 43 goals in 13 games this season, which is fucking absurd. That's an insane goal per game ratio. And before this game, both of these teams got great wins. Barca finally exercised those demons and beat Bayern Munich at Montjuic. Not just beat them, spanked Bayern Munich 4-1 at Montjuic with a Rafinha hat-trick and a goal from obviously Robert Lewandowski. An amazing performance. Was Barca dominant throughout the whole game? No. But they were the much better team, and that's why the scoreline was 4-1. One of the best moments that I've ever had as a Barca fan, and the biggest win that Barca have had in Europe since the 3-0 against Liverpool back in May of 2019. That's how big that win was to me as a Barca fan. So again, Barca coming into this game on great form from the season and also on great form with really high confidence from that past game, obviously beating Bayern Munich. And Madrid, like I said, have not been on the best form in terms of like the game itself, like in terms of like the product on the pitch, but the results are obviously, they're mostly collecting W's. And their previous game, they beat Borussia Dortmund 5-2 in an insane match. One of the best games you'll see this season. I mean, Madrid was down 2-0 in that game, and in typical Madrid fashion, in the UCL, they come back and score 5 goals in the second half off obviously an insane hat-trick from Vinicius Jr. And yeah, just a great performance. One of the best performances you'll see in the second half from a team, honestly, and especially from Vinicius Jr. What he did in that second half was amazing. So again, form for both of these teams. One team has been better in my opinion, that's Barcelona, but both teams are coming in with great records in terms of wins and losses, and both teams are coming in with very high confidence after their previous one in the UCL against two German giants. Obviously, Madrid against Dortmund, Barca against Bayern Munich. So that's form for both teams. Now let's talk about injuries coming into this game because that's really, really important. Barca, fortunately for us, we're getting healthy at the right time, and we didn't suffer any injuries against Bayern Munich. You know, Fermin came back into the lineup, the starting lineup against Bayern Munich, and he looked fucking amazing. Obviously, he had 2 assists, and he was fantastic. Gavi's finally healthy. Frankie de Jong is finally healthy. I mean, the whole squad. Dani Olmo obviously made a cameo against Bayern Munich and looked great, in my opinion, finally getting healthy. So Barca are getting healthy just at the right time. Still missing Araujo and still missing Christensen, but we haven't had, like I said in the Bayern preview, we haven't had them the whole season, and Barca have been, in my opinion, the best team in Europe. And Madrid, on the other hand, unfortunately for them, they're coming into this game with two very, very significant injuries. I mean, there's a lot of them, obviously. I mean, Dani Carvajal is going to be an injury that's going to haunt them for the rest of the season because he's obviously an amazing player and their captain and their leader and that backline. And he's obviously going to miss the whole rest of the year with a torn ACL. And also against Dortmund, Rodrigo got injured. Obviously, I think he pulled his hamstring on that play that he made for the. Who scored that goal? On the Lucas Vazquez goal, if I'm not mistaken. And also, Courtois, their keeper, I don't know when it happened, but he also got injured against Dortmund. Now, Rodrigo is a big loss. Even though Rodrigo hasn't been the best player for Madrid this season, he's still a guy who's so threatening, and you have to be aware of him at all times when he's on the pitch because he's a guy who can just wreck a game at any moment because he's that good. But again, when they have Arda Güler, they have Luka Modric, they have other attacking, Brahim Diaz, they have other attacking options they can throw in there. But again, the loss of Rodrigo is going to be a big one. Even though I don't think he was even going to start for this game. Maybe I don't know if Ancelotti would have started him if he was healthy. But again, you don't have him available to you even coming off the bench, which is a big blow for Madrid. And then we move on to Thibaut Courtois, which, usually when you lose the best goalkeeper in the world, which he is, you would think that the team is fucked. But Madrid have this insane thing where they have Thibaut Courtois, who's the best in the world, but you could argue his backup is the second best in the world, or at least top 5 in the world. In Lunin, we saw him last year, last season where Courtois was hurt for the whole year, basically with a torn ACL. He stepped into that lineup and looked like one of the best, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. Obviously, was with them through the whole USO run up until the final, and he was just amazing. So again, the goalkeeper to me, again, it sucks that Courtois, it doesn't suck for Barca, but it sucks for Courtois that he got injured. But at least they have Lunin that they can throw and go on. I don't think Madrid fans are really worried about that because they trust Lunin because he's a great goalkeeper, like I said, and he showcased it all last season. So again, when we're talking about injuries, Barca coming into this game healthier than ever, and Real Madrid coming into this game with a lot of significant injuries to a lot of important players. So advantage Barca on that side. So I think Barca has the advantage in terms of form and who's been the better team this season, and I think Barca has the advantage in terms of obviously injuries. Now we move on to history, because people talk about the El Clásico, and I could not disagree. Like, people say that form doesn't matter coming into the El Clásico. I could not disagree more with that. I don't agree with that statement whatsoever. Form always matters, no matter who you're playing. Okay? It does matter. And history always matters as well. And in the El Clásico, man, I gotta be honest, they've been kicking our ass. They've owned us for the past couple matchups. Since the Super Cup win back in January of 2023, we have not beaten them a single time. I'm talking about like official games, obviously. We're beating them in preseason, but I'm talking about official games. We have not beaten Madrid a single time, and they've actually beaten us every single time. We haven't drawn a single game. They've won every single one. The Copa del Rey and obviously the Camp Nou, a depressing loss. We have the loss in Montjuic, the 2-1 with the Jude Bellingham double. We have the loss in the Super Cup final, 4-0, 4-1 actually. Just the Vinny hat-trick, just one of the worst days of my life as a Barca fan. That live stream is still up, by the way. Can you guys believe that? That live stream is still up, I'm pretty sure. And just a terrible day for me as a Barca fan. And also we have the most recent loss, the 3-2 in the Santiago Bernabeu, where Barca were up multiple times in that game, and Real Madrid ended up coming back. And obviously Bellingham scored that last-minute winner, and Lucas Vazquez looked like prime fucking Cafu in that game. But again, they have like they're better than us in that sense, because they can say, you know what, in the last few games we've owned you. You know what I mean? They can take that high ground. We've been better than you. We've literally destroyed you, spanked you in the last few games. All those losses have been heartbreaking. You're talking about either spankings, which are like scoring 4 goals against Barca, or last-minute winners. The most heartbreaking ways you can lose. Your team getting destroyed, or your team conceding a last-minute winner. So again, over the last few matchups, they've owned us, and that's going to obviously play into their confidence, because they believe we can beat this team no matter what, because we've done it over the past couple games. They maybe, like, that's how it was when Pep was coaching Barca, by the way. When Pep was coaching Barca, and we spanked them every single time we played them. I as a fan, I watch those games always thinking Barca are going to win this no matter what. I don't care if Madrid won the previous game 7-0. Barca, we have the history on our side, and we have the psychological advantage over them. That's what I believe as a Barca fan. I feel like Madrid fans feel the same way. Yes, they may not think that the team is on their best form right now, but they think probably, we're beating this team so many times, it's going to happen again because we own them psychologically. And again, to me, form matters in the El Clásico. If you look at the previous El Clásicos, last season Madrid beat us every time because they had better form than us. If you look at the season before that, we beat them in the Super Cup because we had better form than them. They were not playing well, and we were obviously on our way to winning the league that year. So again, form to me matters in the El Clásico. Now, is it everything? No, but it matters to some degree. And obviously the history, like I mentioned, matters. What are the keys to this game, in my opinion? How do I believe Barca can get a W? Because I believe Barca will win. Spoiler alert, I believe my team's going to win. I think that number one, Barca have to be cautious with that high line. We saw it against Bayern Munich. Now, everybody acts like Bayern Munich just had every chance they wanted with that high line. They created maybe 2-3 chances in that first half, and that was it. After that, Barca adapted, played well, and actually, I think their high line worked fairly well against Bayern Munich because in that second half, they did fuck all, and Barca were still playing that high line. So again, everybody overreacting about this high line and talking about how Vini and Mbappe are gonna expose it. Miss me with that. Okay, Hansi Flick is one of the best coaches in the world. I don't think he's gonna be so naive to just walk into the game with like this high line and say, you know what, Vini and Mbappe, come get us. That's what Xavi did last season. But again, Hansi Flick, as we know this now, he's not Xavi. So again, the high line could be risky to play it against those two guys, but I believe Hansi Flick knows what he's doing. But I do believe that Barca have to be cautious with that high line because those two guys, yes, while Mbappe has not been on the best form this season, and Vini, apart from that second half against Dortmund, hasn't been great throughout the whole year. I mean, he's not been up to Vini's standards. They're still arguably the two best players in world football and two of the best transition players in world football. And if those guys get you in behind, pause. I don't know if that's worthy of a pause, but whatever. If those guys get in behind and they're through on goal, it's going to be a goal pretty much 99% of the time. So again, Barca must be cautious with the high line. And Barca also must be cautious with their goalkeeper. I'm sorry, but I got to bring it up. Because we don't have Lunin as our backup. We lost our goalkeeper, our starter for the whole season, and our backup is Iñaki Peña, and he's going to start this game. And while he wasn't terrible against Bayern, he also wasn't great, okay? And Iñaki Peña, I fear having him in between the posts because he's not a guy that gives me any confidence. So again, those concern me, but I think that those were my same concerns, by the way, against Bayern Munich, and both of those, I think I was proven wrong in having those concerns. You know what I mean? Because the high line, like I said, for times looked shaky, but for the most part, I think it worked well. Because, sorry, I had to burp. Bayern barely created any chances, and also, you know, Barca just like they played well defensively, in my opinion. And also Iñaki Peña, while yes, he did concede a goal, he looked decent for the most part. But again, you have that fear, and you still have that PTSD of last year when Xavi played that high line and watching Vini score that first half hat trick. Now, apart from the high line and the goalkeeper, what else concerns me from Barca's perspective? Literally nothing, because this team has been flawless this year. They've been so good. I believe that Barca are walking into this game with all the confidence in the world, and they should have all the confidence in the world, and they should believe that we can beat these guys and we can pummel these guys because they just been the better team. Now, you always have to respect Madrid when it comes to that stadium, especially because, again, they're a team that you can never take lightly, and then a Clásico is always a huge game. But I believe that Barca are walking into this game as the better team. I believe Barca have the better attacking trio this season. Maybe not on paper because they're not the names, but, I mean, they are kind of the names. But again, when you look at Vini and Mbappe and Bellingham, I mean, they're obviously great, but Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Lamine Yamal have been better than them this season. I don't think that's up for debate. I think Barca's midfield has been better. I think Pedri has been fantastic. I think Casado is going to be amazing. And I obviously think whoever starts, Firmino, Dani Olmo, or Gavi, I trust them wholeheartedly to play in that number 10 role. I don't think Gavi's obviously not going to play as a number 10, but whether it's Firmino or Olmo, I trust them to play that number 10. And Barca's back line, which people think is a concern, it's really not been a concern. It's been one of the strengths of the team. Well, on the other hand, Madrid have a lot of question marks, man. Ferland Mendy and Fran Garcia, two guys that obviously play left back for them. Neither of them are convincing, in my opinion. Kylian Mbappe, we talked about him already. He had a decent second half against Dortmund. He has not been the Kylian Mbappe that Real Madrid fans thought he would be when he first joined the club. Luka Modric, he has spurts here and there where he looks good, but he's looked old a lot of times this season. Tchouaméni to me has not been his best this season. Camavinga is amazing. I'm not going to talk bad about him because when he played, he's been great. But again, we know the quality that Real Madrid possess, but to me, Barca have just as much quality and they've been the better team throughout the season. So with all that being said, I think Barca win this game. I think Barca win this game 4-1. I think Barcelona will win this game 4-1. The same scoreline against Bayern Munich. I think Barca put 4 against Real Madrid. I think Barca will expose that Madrid back line. I think Barca are going to have a field day in the Bernabeu. I think they are. That's just my personal prediction. Now, I'm predicting 4-1 because I can never predict a clean sheet while Iñaki Peña is in between the posts because I don't trust him at all, and I think he's going to concede a goal. But everybody's talking about how it's going to be Kylian Mbappe's coming out party, and he loves playing against Sport. Sorry, holy fuck, I don't know what the fuck that was. I just ran out of breath mid-sentence. How he's gonna, maybe I should get in better shape. How he's gonna have his coming out party against Barca. I don't think that's gonna happen. Now, Vini's coming off a great performance, like I said, but again, the Vini that I've seen this season has not been a guy who's been that great in my opinion, so I don't believe he's gonna carry over his form against Barca that he had against Dortmund. I just don't believe that. I believe Barca's midfield is going to dominate this game. They're going to control possession. They're going to control the tempo. And I think Barca are going to, like I said, I think they're just a better team, and they're going to win. Like I said, I think it's a bold prediction, but I think Barca win 4-1. I said it when I did the stream with Faisal. If you guys haven't watched that, it's on his channel. I did that about a week back. I think Barca win by 3 goals, 2 or more goals. That's my honest prediction. Honestly, if you put me in a lie detector right now, I would pass it, because I truly do believe that with every fiber in my being. So again, I think Barca win this game 4-1. I think the boys get the W and extend their lead on top of La Liga. And I think we finally should, because everybody's talking about how Bayern, that wasn't a real test, because Bayern, now all of a sudden Bayern are not that good, because Barca, when they beat a team, all of a sudden that team is not that good. But if we beat Real Madrid, who everybody's talking about how they're going to expose this high line, I want to see it happen. If it happens, I'll be if you guys watch this channel, I'll be the first person to sit here and admit, you know what, I was wrong, and I apologize, because I was wrong. I'll be the first person to do that, because I have no problem sitting here and owning up to shit and being a man and saying, you know what, I fucked up. I didn't get it right. I'll do it. But if I'm right, you better believe I'm going to sit here and fucking gloat. And if Barca win, again, even if it's not by my scoreline, but if Barca win, I don't care if we win 4-3 and they score 3 goals off that high line. If Barca win, I'm going to be sitting here fucking gloating, because every time that Barca beat Real Madrid in a Clásico, it's the greatest thing ever. So again, for me, I think that Barca, the keys to the game for me are that Barca, like I said, have to do what they've been doing this season, which is have good first halves. Real Madrid are not a good first half team. They're just not. Barca are the opposite. They're a great first half team. And if Barca can start the first half in the Bernabeu, maybe score 2 goals, drop 2-0 at halftime, this Barca team is not going to concede 5 goals like Dortmund did against Real Madrid. It's just not going to happen. There's not a scenario where that shit happens to Barcelona like I did to Dortmund. So again, Barca, do what you've been doing this season. Control the first half. Obviously, get in Madrid's head. Don't let them actually think that they're going to get into the game. And if you're up 2-0, 1-0, maybe even fucking 3-0 in the first half, you're cruising to a W. So again, get ahead early and see it through, man. Again, it's pretty much the same keys that I had against Bayern Munich. I'm not trying to recycle content here, but again, it's pretty much the same game plan. It's all the same things you have to do. You have to keep doing them. You have to keep getting out to early leads, and you have to always, obviously be worried always about that high line, and always obviously Iñaki Peña, because those are 2 things that still concern me. I'm not concerned about Koundé against Vini, because I trust Koundé. Am I concerned about Mbappe versus Íñigo Martínez and Pau Cubarsí? Absolutely the fuck not. Because I watched Mbappe last season with PSG do nothing against those guys. Against Koundé, obviously. But he's going to do nothing against them, man. I promise you he's not. Bellingham scares me because he's such a fucking good player and he can wreck a game at any moment. He's actually the one that scares me the most. Actually, Vini probably number 1 with Bellingham second and then Mbappe third, because Bellingham is so good. He can just control the game. But I think Barca's midfield is just going to be better. So again, that's my prediction. That's my preview, sorry, for this match. My prediction also is I think Barca win 4-1. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This video is always really funny for me to make, because I think the beautiful thing about this channel is that I have obviously mostly Barca fans, because I'm a Barca fan myself, but I have so many Madrid fans that watch these videos, and I appreciate them so much, because again, I've said this before, more than being a Barca fan, I'm a football fan, and I want this to be a safe space for every football fan to come here and share their opinion. So again, Real Madrid fans, I know you're not gonna like my prediction or my keys to the game or what I've been saying. I try to be as objective as possible, but obviously you gotta be honest. Not be honest. You gotta have a little bit of you gotta give me some leeway here. I am a Barca fan. I'm still a fan when I'm talking about this. So I think Barca will win. But you guys let me know in the comment section down below why you believe I'm wrong or why you believe Real Madrid will win. I would love to hear Barca fans. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my keys to the game and my prediction. I'd love to hear that as well. And yeah, man, we wait till Saturday. I will be streaming this game. I promise you, I will be streaming this game. Hopefully, my Streamlabs doesn't fucking crash. I'm hoping. I'm not gonna promise it. I'm not gonna swear I'm gonna stream the game or say 100% because obviously nothing is ever 100%. But I'm very sure I'll be streaming this game. So I hope to see a lot of you guys there. And yeah, man, I love every single one of you. Visca Barca, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.